We hope you have enjoyed Did That Just Happen and Own It. But now we're going to do something that we like to call a moment of truth. As we close each and every episode of Inspired Sports, we take some time to do a biblical devotion. Either myself or Scott will take some time to pull some truth from the Bible and to teach, maybe share some scriptures, share some experiences, and share some thoughts. Our goal is to encourage you, it's to inspire you, and it's also to spur you on to maybe pull out your Bible and dig a little deeper. So we want to encourage you today, and it's my privilege this time to share this devotion. So Scott, I'm sharing something that I like to call hype train because it's been off-season football, and so I just feel like the hype train is out of control for like every team. I feel like with every new football season, hope and hype are just full in the hearts and minds of every football fan, and everyone just believes this is our year. I mean, as a former Cowboys fan, I think you might have had that feeling a few times and maybe been let down, but we'll stay on we'll stay on track here. But the truth is that hype can convince people of things that honestly, if they sat down and thought about it logically, just aren't true. So here, let me share a few of them as I call NFL hype. And the first one is hype has convinced 49er fans that Christian McCaffrey is going to play a full season of games. And if you have watched any of Christian McCaffrey's career, he's amazing. But that guy gets hurt. But in the offseason, this is the year, man. He's in the best shape of his life, and he's going to lead us straight to the playoffs and the promised land, and it's just going to happen. But that's not hope. That's just hype. Also, and honestly, you didn't know I was going to share this with your Bengals prediction, but Bengals fans are believing the hype. The hype train in Cincinnati is out of control because they think we paid all this money to Joe Burrow, and we paid all of this money to Jamar Chase, and we paid all of this money to T. Higgins, and our offense is going to be amazing. And it's still not going to be enough because they believe that having a terrible defense is an okay thing. So it's the hype is out of control in Cincinnati. The hype is out of control in Pittsburgh because Steelers fans believe that 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers is still an elite quarterback. And listen, I have seen Aaron Rodgers do things on a football field that I didn't think were possible, but I have not seen him do that since he wore green and yellow. So I think the hype train has gotten out of control, and Aaron Rodgers is not the answer in Pittsburgh. Cowboys fans are believing the hype that this year, this is a winning combination. A first-year head coach who's never been a head coach before in Brian Schottenheimer, and the highest paid quarterback in the league, Dak Prescott, who can't even put up the statistics to be a top 10 quarterback. That's a winning combination. That's the hype they're believing in Dallas. Can you tell that I'm just having fun poking at all the different fan bases? They're like, hey, this is supposed to be a biblical devotion. Okay, just two more, just for the fun of it. Bears fans believe the hype that their new coach, Ben Johnson, is actually going to get Caleb Williams to throw the ball on time and not hold it for an hour and a half and get sacked. And I think that's just hype because that's who Caleb Williams is. He's going to hold the ball too long and get sacked. And lastly, listen, I used to live there. You know this, Jake. I used to live in Indianapolis. There's good people there. There are good salt of the earth, quality humans that are Colts fans. But I'm sorry, the Colts fans that are believing that giving Daniel Jones a second try in his career after what happened in New York is a good plan for their season. That is hype. So I'm here to tell everyone as we move into the biblical portion of this devotion that hype is not hope. Don't confuse hype and hope because hype is just noise mixed with wishful thinking. It has no substance. But hope is an eternal creation of God. We know in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 13, often referred to as the love chapter, that we find out that there are three things that will last forever, right? 1 Corinthians 13, verse 13 says, three things will last forever, faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. But it's that middle one that I want to talk about as I'm sharing this, which is hope. And I think hope is a thing that kind of, it gets passed over. You know, faith, we're like faith. We're faithful when we have faith in Jesus and we have faith for him to do great things and faith for the miraculous and faith for this and love. Man, love is the basis of everything, the love of Jesus. But we kind of just pass by the hope section, Jake. And it's just like, wait, why did hope make it into this list of three things that are eternal, that they will last forever? And it's because hope is really something that we have to hold on to. because we know from the prophecy in Isaiah 42, which is also referenced in Matthew chapter 12, verse 21, that Jesus is the hope of the world. You're like, yeah, that sounds nice. That's like a bumper sticker. Oh, it makes me feel good inside. I can put that on the back. I can put that on social media. Oh, Jesus is the hope of the world. But until you really internalize it and apply it, if Jesus is the hope of the world, then we as believers are never without hope. There's not a situation, a circumstance, or anything that we're facing, whether it's a tiny little hill or a giant mountain, we are never without hope, because hope is an eternal creation of God, because Jesus himself is the hope of the world. And if we really believe that and we really live by that, then we know that no matter what we're facing, there is hope. And we know what it says in Romans chapter 8, verse 28, which is God is working all things together for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purposes for them. And that's what we know deep inside, is that when we can trust in God, that hope is the thing that leads to faith and becomes an expression of love. And so for all of our listeners out there, whether you're listening for the first time or whether you're excited that we're back and you listen to all of our previous seasons, we want you to start this journey with us as we move over the next 6 months of NFL football. And we have so much fun talking about it. We want to start at a place of hope, real hope. Maybe you've lost hope for something that's very important to you, something that has just become overwhelming because it hasn't changed, because you haven't seen what you thought you'd see, because you prayed and it didn't come to pass. It can be an unbearable place, so much so that God made sure there were scriptures to talk about it in the Bible. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 12 says, hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a dream fulfilled is a tree of life. I think we've all felt that kind of heart sick before, where just what we really hoped for, what we really believed just didn't happen. And so just as we wrap up, I just want everyone to take a moment to reflect and a moment to think, what's that thing that you used to have a lot of hope for that you've just kind of let fall to the back of your mind, fall to the back of your prayer list, fall to the back of your life, and just go, listen, it's just not going to happen. And I think maybe it's simple things, and just to jog your memory, just to make your mind turn or your spirit jump. I'm going to share a few that I think our listeners might be facing. Maybe you've lost the hope for a loved one who needs Jesus to become their savior. And you need to be reminded that Jesus is still after their heart. Maybe you've lost hope for living free from addictions in your life. And I don't know what those are, and I'm not going to waste time listing them, but you do. But you've forgotten that Jesus is the one who sets us free. Maybe you've lost hope for a healing in your body or in a loved one's body because you've been praying and asking, you just haven't seen that healing. But the creator of that body is also the healer of that body. That Jesus is the one who gave up his body to be bruised, beaten, and broken so that we could be healed, including physically, but also healed in every other way. Or maybe you've just lost hope for your marriage. Maybe we've lost hope and said, it's just is what it is, which is the least hope-filled phrase in all of the English vernacular. You've lost the hope that it will be healthy and strong and centered around Jesus. But it doesn't have to be that way. Jesus can be the very thing that reunites and restores your marriage. And lastly, maybe you've just lost the hope of heaven. Maybe there was a time in your life your relationship with Jesus was just bright and burning and on fire and passionate, and it's just kind of dimmed, and you've kind of walked away, and you're now living a lifestyle that you know doesn't line up with what Jesus would have for you. So this isn't about what you haven't lost. It's about taking a moment to say, you know what? Hope is eternal. And as long as I believe in Jesus Christ, the hope of the world, I'm never without hope. So that's our encouragement for you as we share our first episode of this season of Inspired Sports. You are never without hope. Jesus Christ is the hope of the world, and hope is an eternal creation that he meant to live alive in your heart. So whatever you're facing, just know there is hope because of Jesus.
Man, Alex, I love that. Because I think in sports, there are many that confuse hype and hope.
Oh, for sure.
They are hyping up something that they really wish they could be hoping for, but they know that they don't have a whole lot of substance to hold them up in that hope. So they instead hype it up. I heard someone say one time, hype is an external noise that tries to build excitement hope is an internal belief that just keeps you going.
Oh,
Um,
that's good.
and
You should
and
have, seriously.
so
Why didn't you email me that? That was I should put that in there, man. That's incredible. Can you say that one more
no,
time for our listeners?
yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. Hype is an external noise that tries to build excitement, where hope is an internal belief that keeps you going.
That's good.
And I think that in our lives, there, that's why when we're down, when we're weak, when we're at our low points, we call friends, we call family to hype us up because we're wanting them to give us something externally that will try and fill a void that's internal.
Yeah.
And when it comes to our walk with Christ, our eternal hope, then we can realize that that is the thing that can keep us going
Yeah.
when the world is trying to hype us up with everything else around us. So I think that is a beautiful way to start our first episode, going into a season where a lot of people are hoping. Well, they think they're hoping, but in reality, they're hyping.
Yeah.
And so, great job.
Hey, I appreciate that.